Welcome back to DHN Crypto, where if the money is digital, so is the hustle. My name is Wade Teamer, and today we're talking about a very important list of updates for the Hedera network. So if you're holding Hedera, you've definitely come to the right place. Look around the rest of the channel, you see we have mastered the ecosystem of Hedera. And this is one of the reasons why. So I got the write up here for you, but pay attention to the visuals that we have on screen. We're going to start with Hedera joining the open source security foundation. This one is very interesting, guys. I'm going to pull this up here on my screen just for a little bit of a backup because I got my notes here, but this has a little bit more specific information that I did want to share with you. Simply, Hedera is now joining an initiative alongside one of their fellow governing council members, Boeing, as well as AdaLogic's Chainloop, Defense Unicorns, and Insignia and Step Security. Now, what these organizations like to do is promote, proliferate, market, even create their own open source technologies. And if you don't know, I believe it was late 2020 when Hedera made all of their technology open source. Now, what does open source technology mean? Simply, when you open source your technology, you're in essence making it available to everyone. It means that someone can take your base software and build on top of it whatever they, choose to build. So a real life example would be Android as the operating system, or iOS for your phone, right? The operating system comes from Apple, comes from Google. However, the apps that you use, like a Facebook, an Instagram, a YouTube, any of your financial apps, those are built on top of the open source technology provided by Google and Apple. So in the age of the new digital economy, in the age of utility, this is why I like Hedera so much, because they specialize in the proliferation and the promotion of open source technology. And the more of these technologies that we have, the higher the chances that we get that one great application that just takes crypto to the moon. No pun intended. Now, what this is also going to do, and as I kept reading through this and, exploring their website, not only will they be the headline speaker for a big open source software conference taking place, I want to say at the end of this month. By the time you see this video, it may have already happened. So just look up that event. But this is also going to keep Hedera in the discussion around other open source companies, because it's not just Boeing, it's not just Insignia. There's a lot of corporations that use open source technology. As a matter of fact, the founding organization for this open source security foundation is the Linux Foundation. Now, longtime crypto natives, the Linux Foundation, they created the Hyperledger fabric, or the Hyperledger protocol. This Hyperledger protocol is the universal blockchain network, or universal ledger, it is used by companies, and it's open source. But they're used by companies like Hedera, like Boeing, like Dell, to make sure these technologies do as the purpose intended, simply put. What I like about this relationship is what it's going to do for the, what's the word I'm looking for here? The community, the direction for Hedera. It's going to support their proficiency in open source technology. So that's why I like that update. Real small, but like I always tell you, this whole crypto thing, small pieces to a much larger puzzle. But let's move over to the next story, guys. This one was pretty interesting. I shared this out on X, but Hedera's technology was on display at Milan's Fashion Week thanks to Miotech and their Baxter ID application. Now, I'm going to pull up a clip here while I look at the images. It seems that they've actually posted a couple more from when I initially wrote this down. But simply, this Baxter ID is the same technology that we talk about when we bring up VeChain and how they use NFC technology to track and trace food, clothing, things like that. In this situation, it was being used for fashion designs that were on display at this event. Now, I read somewhere that they posted the square footage, right? It was a huge venue. We'll just leave it at that. And it's important because this is an event that is targeted at traditional design enthusiasts, but this incorporation of this new technology that allows you to interact with the design now, because that's what Baxter ID allows you to do. You can not only trace the validity of the design, but you can also get in contact with the creator. Let's say the creator has another piece coming out, but it isn't necessarily publicly known. When you download your Baxter ID, you scan the QR code for the corresponding design, then you get that connection with that creator. So when that design does get ready to hit the market, you'll be the first to know. And if you're in the game of investing in these designs or, trying to get in on the ground floor, this is the perfect application. They also mentioned that you'll be able to do other things, like as they bring in more brands, big retailers, you'll be able to interact with them, get special rewards, incentives. So what we're seeing here, like I said, much like VeChain's track and trace technology, this also is the same thing we see with blockchain gaming, the rewards, the gamification, as well as what Polygon likes to do a lot. Fan reward programs for major companies, i.e. Starbucks. So we're leaning in that direction for sure with this one. Again, you guys can check them out on X, MIOO Tech. They're working on Hedera. They've joined the ecosystem since 2022. And everything is built running on Hedera strictly. That's from their words. Now, let's jump over to this next one here, because this is interesting. We're talking gaming on Hedera. Didn't see it coming, but I'm excited about it. Circle of Games raises $1 million from Nazara Technologies and the Hashgraph Association. The gaming platform intends to use the fresh funding to track its go-to-market strategy, improve platform capabilities, and widen its international presence in the US, Middle East, EU, Africa, and Asia in 2024. And it's going to be built on Hashgraph. So not a lot of details about this company yet, about some of their games. I did look at a few titles. A lot of stuff is still in development, but gaming on HBAR, I think personally it's not needed, but if they did it, they could do it just as good as some of these other chains, guys. Now, a couple more things I got for you. So this is something I have been following for quite some time, and I'm going to pull it up here off of my X account because my notes were incomplete because something wrong with me. No, I'm kidding. Basically, what we're getting at here is, you guys may remember my last Hedera video about drones, right? Well, the company that was involved is called Neuron. They've been using Hedera's technology for building out infrastructure to help drones detect low altitude flights. Because if you don't think you're about to start getting your groceries, or thanks to Domino's, your pizza with a drone or a self-driving vehicle, you haven't been paying close enough attention. That's what this is going to lead to, guys. And what I found out is that Neuron posted an update. So not only are they testing, but they have plans to take these applications and the application that we talked about in the last video and put it on Hedera's mainnet as soon as September of this year. That's the projection. Now, what is that going to look like? Well, by September, I'm pretty sure that Walmart and Google Wing, who have been studying Neuron and this development, they're going to have their drone system set up in place by the end of the year. They have to, because it's the holiday season. So I find that them aiming for September is very important. I was just excited about that. Again, I'll leave a link to that previous video so that way you can dive more into that. It's very interesting. The last thing I want to share with you guys, this company here, I'm going to pull it up on the screen, right? Y'all got to bear with me. It's been a couple months. I got to get back into the flow of things, but I'm telling you guys, had an experience this week that's going to make that so much easier. But we're talking about Bank Social. This is another Hedera ecosystem member that I brought to your attention because of their work with credit unions. Now, as a member of a credit union, I can tell you, That's the closest experience I've had to holding crypto with that's the closest experience I've had from a traditional institution that reminds me of crypto. Honestly, I've never missed a payment with this credit union. Granted, I've only been with them 12 months, but what I have noticed is that they have unmatched security. That's not the point though. The focus is Bank Social. I was listening to a Twitter space from Bank Social. John Wingate, the founder, CEO, man, he spilled the beans. All right. Now it was, the space was hosted by Max Walker Williams. You guys may know about him, big name in the Hedera space. And he was actually a little bit late, but he gave us a very good reason why. So he had just got off the phone with the NCAU, National Credit Union Association. You guys know the abbreviation. But basically, he's stating that there is a certain credit union getting ready to debut services on Hedera, a full credit union. Not to mention, he talked about Bank Social becoming a digital credit union of its own. They're getting a lot of support from credit unions here in the United States, basically is what he was getting at. This also brought in the discussion with FedNow. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I remember reporting on Drop being one of the first chosen to be included into the FedNow service providers showcase roster, right? Everybody went crazy over that. But he mentioned how Bank Social may be next in line, right? Still need to follow up on that, dig deeper to see if there's anything written down yet. But ever since Bank Social got involved with Hedera, they have been moving. They have been moving. And they told a very interesting story, guys. And I found this to be so fitting. So when Lehman and Mance got together years ago to put together Hashgraph, their first initial marketing targets were credit unions because they felt that the credit union was the closest thing, a perfect proxy to the world of digital assets that they were looking to contribute to. And boy, did they do it correctly. So with that, guys, it's been a major week for Hedera. I'm excited about everything that has come out. I'm also excited to get back into this rotation, guys. Like I said, I've been missing y'all like crazy. Life's been trying me. The devil been trying me. But you know what? I bopped him upside the head. He ain't gonna be back. He will, but we'll deal with that bridge when we get to it. So with that, that's all I got for you. Thanks again for watching. If you're looking to buy some crypto, I'm using Uphold right now. Link to that will be down in the description. Also, you want to get set up with the Hashpack wallet. Okay, since we're talking Hedera, I have a full tutorial video on how to use the Hashpack. I would highly advise you watch that. Second, you need a hardware wallet device. Link to the SafePal S1 model, that's a channel partner of ours, will be in the description. Of course, your boy get compensated if you make a purchase using that link. So I'm thanking you in advance. With that, you know what I'm gonna tell you. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.